Yeah, I mean, I people who I respect, people who I listen to frequently, people who I read frequently, uh, are like talking about the importance of the midterms, which are almost a year and a half away. And look at what Republicans are doing right now with gerrymandering in multiple states, as though we're going to have anything that even remotely resembles a normal midterm election. And people talking about the 2028 presidential election, which is almost 3.5 years away. What are we going to run Hakeem Jeffries on the AIPAC ticket? Uh, for the first like 3, 4 months, I was firmly in the camp. I did a couple of videos about this where I was cranky about it, but I was like, politics is the only thing that's going to save us. It's not going to be the Supreme Court. It's not going to be Congress. I, does anybody think that the midterms are going to progress normally in any way, shape, and form? Does anybody think that between now and January 20th, 2029, inauguration day for the next president, that Donald Trump is going to remove the National Guard and the United States military armed from Washington, D.C.? I don't. I think part of that is half the reason why he's doing this in Washington, D.C., a year and a half before the midterms. He is an authoritarian ruler right now. Right now. He is rapidly consolidating power. And today in the Oval Office, he's like, I don't know, maybe, there are a lot of people who maybe want a dictator. It's on his brain. It is his intention to become a dictator in short order. Go back over the last 300 years. Name one dictator who was removed from power by voting. Name one. I'm trying not to catastrophize about this. I'm trying to be thoughtful and deliberate in my thought processes and trying to think through these things. But authoritarianism is here now, right now. It's here. We are now an authoritarian country. And Donald Trump wants to consolidate enough power to take that last step to just be a dictator. And who the fuck is going to stop him? Who's going to stop him? The Supreme Court's not. Congress sure as hell isn't. Republicans have control over that for another 16 months, regardless of how the midterms go. They're not going to curb anything. They're not going to say no to him. This Supreme Court's not going to say no to him. When he decides he's going to be a dictator, who is going to stop him? Protests? He's already putting the military out in the streets. It's going to come down to whether National Guard members obey the order when it's given to them by Pete Hegseth to start shooting Americans. I mean, the dude's going to be a dictator by the end of the year. How the fuck do we prepare for that? And voting, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. I think that anyone who thinks that the midterms are going to progress in a manner that is even remotely normal is insane. We have absolutely every single indication right now that Trump and the Republicans are going to do absolutely every single thing they can do in their power to make sure that the midterms are as disrupted as they can possibly be, and they are going to steal the midterm election results as it relates to the House and possibly the Senate. And that's going to trickle down to the states, in red states. And they have about 14 months, 14 to 15 months to prepare for that. And then they'll have another 2 solid years to prepare for that for the presidential election, assuming that one even happens. Dictators are not removed through voting. They just aren't. If anybody's got a recent example of that happening, I'm all ears. But that's not how they leave office. And Donald Trump's going to be a dictator by the end of this year. So, quitting smoking during this period of time really fucking sucks.